For classic matches, just like the World Cup videos, why not go to patreon.com/drunkredhead. Let's round off another week with another What Happened on My Universe mode. The fireworks were out and banging. It was Smackdown and it was in Reno, Nevada. We opened the show with an angry looking AJ Styles who had a mic in hand and wanted to say something to the crowd.
Yeah, that should be good.
Once AJ Styles hit the ring, he stated that he was all about giving the crowd their money's worth. So he called out Alberto Del Rio so they could get it on. And Del Rio came out without any hassle. Del Rio advised the crowd to not listen to anything that AJ Styles said and he couldn't be trusted. So AJ Styles retaliated by telling him he sucked. Styles said he preferred to talk with his fists, which angered Del Rio, and when he got angry, he said people get hurt. So AJ Styles kicked him in the balls. AJ gave Del Rio a little onslaught, first with a pump handle gutbuster and then a dirty German suplex before clotheslining him down. And the referee said no more. Now we've already had our first action, but the first actual match saw the new tag team champions, Team Fuckboy, that's Roman Reigns and John Cena, take on the team of Kofi Kingston and Big E, The New Day. John Cena tried to charge Big E at the start, but Big E ducked and he went over the top rope. So Big E started beating him on the outside, ending up with knees and then putting him back in the ring, took him down, but then John Cena hit a jawbreaker to take control. After a clothesline and a weird move, he tagged into Roman Reigns for some double teamness. Reigns hit a belly to belly, then went through the motions with a Superman punch and a dirty spear. He tagged into John Cena for a quick bit of double teamness before Cena hit a springboard stunner and the AA to finish the match off, and the tag team champions with the easy win. A disappointing night for the New Day. In the next matchup though, we had Goldust, who was Intercontinental. That title is getting jumped around a lot recently. He was taking on the man who was on earlier, AJ Styles. Styles started off in control with an enziguri and a brainbuster, but was soon joined by his recent nemesis, Alberto Del Rio. Then he hit a nice springboard tornado DDT. Eventually the Del Rio distraction would prove to be something, as Goldberg would take the advantage and hit a few moves, including a nice snap suplex and a short arm clothesline. But when he tried to pick AJ Styles up again, AJ Styles hit a short arm clothesline of his own. Before he could do anything else, Del Rio distracted him again. Goldust was up, hitting a bubble bomb. Goldust gave him another elbow to the head, but next time out, AJ was reversing again, hit a forearm to the face, and suddenly there was a Styles clash on the horizon. He hit it and went for the pin, but unfortunately for him, Del Rio was about distracting the ref. The ref had actually had enough and sent Del Rio away, and while he was doing that, AJ Styles was hitting a springboard 450 and winning the match. Next up, we had a rematch from Hell in a Cell as Long Island IC Zack Ryder faced off against Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler was definitely looking to avenge his loss at Hell in a Cell, as soon as the match started, he went for a quick, cheeky pinfall, which got a 2 count, so it wasn't too bad. Once they were up though, Zack Ryder took control and forearmed him in the face. Ryder hit a drop kick and a short arm clothesline, but when he went for a stomp, Ziggler moved out of the way. Ziggler went for a super kick and Ryder moved out of the way, and eventually Ziggler gained the upper hand with an arm drag. A series of moves followed, including a nice neck breaker. Though once he hit that, Ryder managed to gain control once again and put Ziggler down for a broski boot, which he hit. Zack Ryder must have felt the wind coming as he went for the Rough Rider, but Ziggler quickly reversed and hit a back suplex before nipping up and jumping to the top rope for an elbow drop. After a really glitchy Fame-Out, so Zack Ryder woke up and hit a neck breaker, taking Ziggler down and put him back to the top rope to hit a Hurricane Rana. But then Ziggler took control once again and hit a zigzag to take the victory. Dolph Ziggler celebrated a hard-earned win, but then decided he wasn't done with Ryder, threw him into some steel steps and hit him with another zigzag to finish it off. There was a surprising turn of events in the penultimate match of the evening as The Miz took on The Big Show in another rematch from Hell in a Cell, made even more of a rematch by the fact that it was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Before the match even got started, Miz offered a handshake to The Big Show. The Big Show went for it, but The Miz moved away. and then the Big Show slapped him. The Big Show was angry and started the match off with fists and a dirty big headbutt before hitting him with a gigantic sidebreaker. And when he was then taunting him in the corner, The Miz took control, grabbing him and hitting a big tornado DDT before throwing the Big Show to the outside, and then impressively hitting him with a suplex. Big Show reversed the next attack by throwing Miz into the steps and then throwing him up for an alley-oop. Big Show went back in the ring, but Miz stayed outside looking frustrated. And you couldn't blame him, because as soon as he hit the ring, he got big booted and then chucked to the outside again, where the Big Show hit a giant sidewalk slam and then the final cut. Big Show dismantled the announce table and then chokeslammed The Miz through it. He headed back to the ring, but impressively The Miz got up and wouldn't accept a count-out defeat. Even more impressively, he took the advantage once again with a takedown before hitting a knee to the back neckbreaker combo. Eventually the Big Show would get back up and reverse, hitting a Russian leg sweep and then taking The Miz down with the giganticest spear ever to take the victory and retain the world title. Before the main event, we were joined by Titus O'Neil, who wanted to talk to the crowd. He G'd him up a little bit and then actually said that they were on fire. The passion and energy was awesome. He started talking about when he signed his WWE contract and that he wanted to give the universe the greatest matches of all time. O'Neil then thanked the crowd again, sucking up some more. Why is he trying to play to the crowd so much? With Titus out of the way, it was time for the main event, which saw Edge. And he was supposed to be taking on Cesaro, but before Cesaro had a chance to come out for the second time in 2 weeks, Stardust jumped out during Edge's entrance. Stardust hit Edge with a side suplex on the ramp before choking him out and then throwing him a little closer to the ring. Then, for some reason, Stardust locked in a submission hold, which was a bit weird considering they were outside the ring. Edge realised this and reversed it. With Edge in control, he floated over Stardust for a DDT and then hit a Russian leg sweep. Edge tried to pick Stardust up after that, but once he did, Stardust reversed and threw him into the ring. He went for a fist, but Stardust reversed that and punched him back. He quickly slapped Edge around the back of the head before bringing him in with a crossed arm DDT, which would kind of knock Edge out, and Stardust would stand victorious at the end of the show. That's that for another What Happened on My Universe mode! New week starts with Raw. Like and subscribe.